What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another piece of content for you guys, and a bit of a different piece this time, as we are doing our FIFA 22 rating predictions. Seeing as the ratings are not out just yet, they're kind of slowly dripping out the ratings as we speak. And yeah, we're doing our own predictions, and then when the ratings do come out, we'll compare and see how wrong we've got it. As it stands right now, there are 3 ratings that have been released officially as of yet. So it's Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Hugo Lloris. Now, Harry Kane is 90 rated, up from 88. Do you think that's a bit harsh, or you think he should be going up even more than that?
Well, he's only 1 point better in passing than Son, and he's one of the best passers in the league, so yeah. I think he should be a bit higher in passing there. But other than that, I think 90, maybe 91 would be about right for Kane. I think 89's about right for Son. Lloris, I remember the days Lloris used to be 88, so he's down to 87.
Yeah, he was 87 at the start of last season as well.
So yeah, I think he could have gone to 88 as well the season he had. So a bit minor changes, but other than that, roughly.
Although
okay.
Heung-min Son, 89, right? He had probably his best season in a Spurs shirt last year, and he'd only gone up 1. Surely maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe he could have been level with Kane on 90. Definitely.
I thought maybe Kane 91, Son 90.
Yeah, maybe that makes more sense. Yeah, you're probably right.
All right, well, let's get into the actual predictions now, and let's start off with Pierluigi Golini. Golini last year was 79, and we're going to pick him as a 79 this year as well. I mean, we haven't seen much of him, as we, so
can't really change our prediction on him based on one performance in a friendly, so yeah, can't do that just yet. So just sticking with the same.
Yeah, Matt Doherty, we're going to pick 76. I actually don't have to hand how much he was.
81 last year.
He was 80. Wow.
Yeah, so
81
we've given him a big downgrade.
Big downgrade, and rightly so, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you can't put in more of a 6 out of 10, and that's like your standout performance in the Tottenham shirt.
Yeah, I think he's lucky to get over the 76 the way he's been performing, so big downgrade for us. I actually don't think they'll downgrade him as much as we have, but that's what we would do. They should, really, yeah.
Moving on to Emerson, the final right back. Well, one of the right backs. We've gone 78, same rating as last year. It's too hard to call that because we just haven't seen him enough.
Yeah, he had a good year at Betis, and Barcelona did recall him for a reason. But yeah, we're just stuck with the same one for now. All
right, let's move over to the centre backs. Eric Dyer, we've gone for 78, who was 78 in the last season as well.
Yeah, so I don't think with no much movement. I actually don't think Dyer specifically had like a terrible season per se last season. For a first half anyway, he was pretty good. But he did start to make a lot of mistakes in the second half of the season. But I think as a centre back, you know, if he was 78 at the beginning of the season, I don't think I'd change him. I don't think he's lower than 78.
Yeah, I maybe would have flirted with 77, but around 70, 78 is probably the right mark for him. Japhet Tanganga, 75 we've given him.
Yeah.
Last year he was also 75. I haven't played that much since he was last given the rating, so I think that you can't really call it based on the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah,
so.
He's looking good, but I think you can't give him much more than 75 he got last year.
Yeah.
I think by the end of the season he might have moved up quite a few places, maybe to 78, but I think 75 for now, yeah.
Definitely. Let's move over to the next 3 players. Davinson Sanchez, who was 83 at the start of the last game. We're giving him a 79.
83? I thought it was 80.
It says here 83.
Well, a bit of a harsh downgrade then, but I think 79 is about right, to be fair. Yeah, because he did have a poor season. I don't know about -4 down, -4.
I don't think you can kind of rate it on what he was given last year. It's all about your personal opinion and what we think he should be.
So I think around 80.
You said 79.
Well, we gave him, so I think maybe it was I don't know, about 80 probably is fair for Sanchez. I think last year we thought it was 80
with him last year.
Yeah, I know, but he was also good in some games as well. So I don't know.
I think putting him to 80 is a bit of bias at the start of the season. I think if you were rating him, not knowing any ratings from last year's FIFA, and rating him at the end of last season, you would give him 78 or 79.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's a bit of recency bias on that front. But yeah, you're probably right.
All right, let's move over to Christian Romero. We've given him an 81. He was 73 at the start of last year's FIFA. Obviously had a brilliant season for Atalanta, was centre-back of the year, so we've given him an upgrade.
Yeah, 81. Hopefully he'll be even more than that. I think I read somewhere he was going to get an 83, but yeah, 81. Hopefully he'll be our star centre back. That's what we're hoping for. 45 million we paid for him. 50 million we paid for him. So we're looking for a big season from Romero.
Definitely. Let's move on to Joe Rodon. Last year's FIFA, he was 70. This year, we are giving him a 74 in our predictions.
Yeah, gone up a few because he's played quite well when we've seen him, but I still can't rate him too highly just because we haven't seen him enough, really. And he has made a few mistakes in the few games he's played. So 74 for now, despite the small amount of game time.
Let's move over to the left backs. Ben Davis, we're going to start off with. We're giving him a 77. Let me just check what he was last
80,
year.
no?
He was 79 at the
79.
start of last year. Yeah. So I think that's pretty fair, to be honest.
I think a downgrade. I think he's declining in my opinion, Ben Davis. So I think 77's fair, and he's just pretty much an average defender, pretty much in this day and age, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, who is next? We've got Ryan Sessegnon, who was given a 76 at the start of last year. We give him a 73. He just hasn't kicked on, really. I mean, he started his loan at Hoffenheim last year quite impressively, but didn't really turn out to be that much of an impressive loan, in my opinion. Maybe injuries hampering that, but he just can't seem to get off the injury table, can he?
And more injuries as well this season, so even more again for Sessegnon. When it comes to the injuries, it's a big problem for him. And that's why we've downgraded him. And when he has gotten on the pitch, especially in a Tottenham shirt, hasn't been so impressive. So 73.
Let's move on to Sergio Reguilon. I don't have his last year's rating with me.
I think it was also 82, I think.
But we've gone for 82. I believe, yes. Yeah. Saying it's 82 last year.
I think so.
I think with Reguilon, yes, he didn't have that much of a good second half of the season last year, but I think the attributes that he has, first of all, is very suited to FIFA with his speed.
Definitely.
And second of all, I think that he is a very, very good left back.
Yeah, and I think 82. I think he is an 82 level kind of defender, and he has started the season really well. And he plays for Spain now. Got called up for Spain, made an appearance for them, and I'm a big fan of Reguilon, so I think 82 is fair.
Yeah. Let's move over to Harry Winks. I don't actually have his rating here either. 76 we're giving him, and I imagine he's probably down from 80 or something like that.
I think it was 79, wasn't he, last year? So yeah, I think he has to be a big downgrade for me after a really poor season, and every time he's played for Tottenham at the moment seems to be terrible. So really needs an improvement if he's going to get a better rating. But 76, I think, is about fair for what he is.
Ollie Skip, last year he was set 68. This year our prediction is 75 for Ollie Skip after the stellar season on loan last year with Norwich, pretty much ever present in his in the side last year with the title winning side in the Championship, and he started this season with Tottenham pretty much as he left off with Norwich, so I think that 75 is fair for me.
Yeah, he could be in a few months time a lot higher, I reckon, maybe even pushing 80, but 75 for now. Just needs a few more game time in the Premier League to show his quality. I think he started the season really well, and I'm really looking forward to what Ollie Skip's going to bring us in midfield.
Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, last year at the start of the year he was 79. We're going to put him up to an 82. Absolute brilliant campaign last year for Tottenham. Brilliant Euros as well. He really is showing his class. And this year in a bit of a different role, in a box-to-box role, we're going to put him on 82, but I think he could actually finish the season near to like 84, 85.
Yeah, I think a lot depends if we can stop relying on him for creativity. If we can kind of use him as a player that can supplement our creativity, I think we'll even see even more out of Højbjerg. Because right now, sometimes when especially like against Palace, when he's like tasked at being our most creative player, he can seem worse than he is. But when he's in that box-to-box role, like we saw for Denmark, he was absolutely phenomenal, wasn't he? So I'm hoping the team can help him out. But I think 82 is around fair at the moment. He still needs to improve in some aspects, but he's been a very good signing for Tottenham.
Yeah. Dele Alli, let's move on to Dele, as we've given him an 80, and that is a 4-point drop from last season. 84 he was given right at the start of the season. Yeah, I mean, he hardly kicked the ball last season, so it's hard to put him still on 84. He had to be downgraded, and I can't really see him getting higher than 80, to be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately so for Dele. The quality doesn't seem to be there anymore with him at the moment, and he's really struggling badly, and I think he is kind of like an 80-rated player at the moment. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the star quality, and even in central midfield, where he's done some good work, like he's still lacking a lot of he's still very frustrating on the ball. So that's why we're downgrading him so drastically.
Yeah. Tanguy Ndombele, last year he was 80. This year we're going to give him 80. You know what? He had a good. He by and large he had a good season last year, but it's hard to put him up just because of the whole thing surrounding him with Tanguy Ndombele. I mean, if he does kick on, I think he can go up to 85, 86, 87. But as it stands, it's very hard to put him up or down, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of keep him a similar rating to last year at the moment until he proves that he can consistently play at the level we know he can play. And when he proves that, especially under new man Nuno, he could easily be pushing the high 80s. But at the moment, 80 is around fair because I think he can be a bit of a liability even at the moment. So has to be 80.
And Giovanni Lo Celso, 84 last year. We're going to predict about 81. I think that last year his season was a big letdown. It really was in terms of if you're looking at the whole season. 84 is probably what we know he can produce. He produced that the season before for sure, but we just can't rate him at the same level as last season just because of the amount of time he's got on the pitch last season and the quality he's actually produced as well.
Yeah, it's been a bit disappointing when he has got on the pitch. It's true. I'm a big fan of Lo Celso. I really am, and I'm hoping this season we can keep him on the pitch and he can produce consistently. But last season was a very poor one for him. And he had a good Copa America, so hopefully that can take him into the season. But, it's been broken up now, the international break and all that, all the nonsense surrounding that. So he's got some making up to do.
And moving on to the attacking players, Lucas Moura, 82 we're giving him. And that last season he was actually 82 as well.
Was he?
82 as well. So I think, it's standard Lucas Moura, you know what I mean? You know what you're going to get with Lucas Moura. Mm-hmm. Frustrating end product, really good dribbling. So it's hard to put him above 82.
Yeah, I can't. If he had a final product, he could easily be one of the best players in the league. That's pretty much what's holding him back. We know that. So it has to be something like an 82 for him.
Yeah. And Steven Bergwijn, we're giving him an 80, down 3 points from last season. He was giving him an 83. And with one goal last season, which came on the final day of the season, you have to mark him down, don't you?
Yeah, big time. And he's struggling to really add the end product to his game that we hoped he would when he first came. He's really struggling for a bit of consistency. He obviously started this season well, but after last season, the way he struggled badly in front of goal has to be marked down because he was playing like about 80 level last season.
And Brian Hill, we're giving him a 75, which is a 10-point increase from last season. He was given 65 at the start of last season, which is kind of expected. He was a young player coming through at Seville and then got his loan move and then really kicked on from there. So I think 75 is fair for Brian Hill. What we've seen, we haven't seen much of him, but what we've seen so far is definitely supreme talent there.
Yeah.
So I think that 75 is a fair mark, and that is probably the biggest increase that we've given in this episode.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw what he did for Eibar. We've seen how in a team who finished bottom of the league, how he was really their standout player. So hopefully for Tottenham, that can translate into being a big player for us. But yeah, I think he has to get an increase on last year because he's clearly a player who's ready to step up in one of the main leagues in football, like he did in La Liga. It's not easy to do that on a consistent basis, and he was fairly good. So 70, and look, he still has to prove himself. So 75 is, I think, a fair rating.
All right, so there you have it. Those are our FIFA 22 predictions for the ratings of the Tottenham Hotspur squad. I want to know your predictions in the comment section below. As soon as the official ratings are announced, we will bring you another video comparing our predictions to the actual ratings. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.